On today's episode, the life and legacy of John Witherspoon. Halloween marks day one of the final retrograde of 2019. Dating as a millennial, why is it such an Olympic sport? Kanye West drops Jesus is King, and the Free the Nipple movement wins big in 6 states. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. So, really? I just wanted a space where I could come talk about the things that matter to me with, people who get it.
It's the Janae Latrice podcast. Janae Latrice podcast. Yeah. Janae Latrice.
It's important for us to speak on things.
Check.
I mean, it just is.
Check.
The Janae Latrice podcast.
1, 2,
We are all exposed to things every day that impact us in one way or another.
Janae Latrice.
Why not? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for joining us for the Janae Latrice podcast. I am your host, performing artist, and entrepreneur, Janae Latrice, and I am joined by my incredible, fucking amazing co-host. Give it up, y'all, for Marquise Wright Lee and Erica E. Mac, the Queen.
What's up, y'all?
All right, let's get right into it tonight. John Witherspoon, whose hilarious takes on father figure characters made for iconic scenes in a number of movies and television shows. He passed away at his home this Tuesday. Now, Witherspoon is survived by his wife, 2 sons, and a large family, according to CNN.com. So what I want us to do today, I just wanted us to open up the Janae Latrice podcast episode, just honoring our brother for his contributions to art. And I want us to just take a moment real quick and just talk about our favorite moments of his, right? Like on screen or in a show. What are your favorite moments? A-Mac.
Well, my favorite moments in general are on the Wayans show.
Yeah.
And this clip is from the Wayans show.
You got a clip?
My favorite.
Okay.
Favorite.
Money being made around here. Bang! Money being made around here. Bang! Big old cars, Range Rover, diamonds and rings. If you like that kind of thing, money being made around here.
Bang! If y'all can see Erica with the
Bang.
whoa, catching all the bangs.
Bang.
Okay. All right, cool. That was a good one.
Enough with the bang.
That was a good one, though. Marquise, you got any clips that you want us to roll to or any favorite moments of John Witherspoon?
I don't have a clip, but what I do, there are several moments when he's hilarious, he's iconic, and one of the ones that I gravitated to rather recently was an episode of The Boondocks where he's playing Granddad, and he's in the supermarket, and this white woman is like her son is just like throwing a tantrum, and she's like. And he was like, that looks like a handful. She's like, I don't know what to do with him. And he was like, have you tried beating his ass? And took the belt off. And took the belt off and showed her how to beat it. This white woman jumps across the aisle and starts whooping her child. It's fantastic.
I never really watched a whole lot of the Boondocks, but obviously it does very well, and a lot of people watch it. And I know I've seen a couple episodes. It's hilarious.
I don't think he gets enough credit for his voiceover work on there because you don't see that artist face to face.
He's got a lot.
He's got a
Yeah, he's the man. I mean, I have a favorite moment of his personally as an actress that I want to go to, but E-Mac, do you have you said you had 2 coming into this.
I think that, the iconic one from Boomerang, when he's just bang, 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 bang. That's iconic. Nobody's going to get it wrong.
The bang, bang, bang is not even just from Boomerang. That's just from everything I feel like that
you
he did.
just gravitated to the bangs.
I feel like,
you gravitated to the bangs.
One of those staple,
he
things.
did bang, bang, bang a lot on the Wayans too.
He did, but Boomerang came before the Wayans.
True.
Got it. He had to preserve the bang, bang,
Got it.
You
Makes
know
sense. Yes. Shout out to Pops. Yeah. All right, so I do have a favorite moment. It's a little less comedic, well, a whole lot less comedic, but I just thought that, it was a very important contribution to the movie, the already iconic movie, Friday. E-Mac, roll my clip.
Oh, no, son, that's not the way it is. You kids today are nothing but punks. Sissified. So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping. This is what makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.
Hey, man. How can you forget that moment when he's in the room talking to Ice Cube, giving him a father-son lecture on some king shit? I loved it.
Yeah.
John Witherspoon, we speak your name. Thank you for everything that you have meant and contributed to Black Hollywood. We love you.
You know what's great? To my recollection, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's never had a lead role, like an absolute, like be the lead character.
I don't know.
But
I don't
he's
think
all,
so.
but he's like, his career and his legacy is a testament to like how he added quality to each of these projects that he was on, because he didn't need to be the lead character to still stand out and like raise the bar.
He held his
show.
ground in every project he was involved. When y'all remember him on Soul Plane, dog,
I ain't
Blind.
really bang with Soul Plane like that,
Okay,
so
Soul
I don't
Plane, the
remember
movie
no
was
part.
trash, but
actually
John
trash.
Witherspoon was in it. He was blind.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking away from him. I'm just not a Soul Plane kind of gal, so I don't remember any. It's nothing
I don't
stood out
think
to me in that movie.
anyone is.
All right, I shouldn't have
like
brought-
that.
No, there
movie,
are Soul Plane
but that movie
people.
is not made like
Oh Lord, I
to
shouldn't have
like
brought up
be
Soul Plane.
somebody's like,
I
oh,
regret-
this movie is
Somebody-
a
I regret
cinematic
bringing up Soul
masterpiece.
Plane.
It's on Amazon Prime like a mug. That means somebody watching it.
It's a ratchet piece of trash.
Speaking of, I don't know, Soul Plane and ratchet pieces of trash. Let's go ahead and move on.
Oh.
Sorry, so sorry for bringing up Soul Plane. Listen, all in all, happy Halloween, y'all. Okay, today is in fact Halloween, marks day 1 of Mercury retrograde. So talk to me. Are we celebrating Halloween? Do we dress up as costumes? Do we have any favorite Halloween moments? Do we regard retrograde? Like, what's up?
I halfway dressed up. I had an Incredibles t-shirt on.
Oh, I just noticed. I swear to God, I've been around you for 2 hours and I just noticed that your shirt was incredible.
That's a shame. You don't notice the little things.
That is,
Man, I'm hurt.
That's horrible.
I'm
Anyway.
hurt. Either way,
I
my
know as soon as I came in
sister.
the door.
Don't let me
See,
remind
thank you.
Excuse me, I bought you tacos.
Oh wait,
Huh.
Yo, and the tacos was good. Can I shout them out?
Come on.
Shout out to Green Soul.
Yes.
on them tacos. It was good.
Jerk salmon tacos. If you live in the Philly area and you go, order the jerk salmon tacos. Anyway, incredible. Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah, no, me, my sister, and my niece and nephew were supposed to do an Incredibles theme, but they ditched me, and
hell.
my nephew went in the store, and my niece went in the store. They wanted to be something different. So
Okay.
when you 6 and 4, you can change your mind like that.
Got you. You
I
do
just
celebrate.
haven't-
So you do celebrate Halloween.
I mean, not to be honest, no. This is this is new to me. This is like I would never.
You grew up celebrating Hallelujah Night.
Yeah, in a way, but not really. My parents didn't force me to. To
Okay.
be honest, they like my dad let me go trick or treating.
You never heard of Hallelujah
I
Night?
have.
My dad let me go trick or treating, but I'm not a Halloween type of person. Like people get into it. I'm not
They
really.
do,
I get
yeah.
into it for the kids at school.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I got this shirt on, to be honest.
I don't really regard any holidays like overall, like any of them. I'm gonna be honest, but I mean Halloween. If I'm in the mood, I'll do it. But today, clearly, I have a dashiki on. I forgot it was Halloween. Yeah, I'm from Wakanda.
Kinda.
I don't really celebrate holidays at all like that. But I don't, fault anybody who does. It seemed like the kids was out there having a good time. What I will say is, I really was upset that Beyonce did not post a costume this year. I mean, at least at this present time at 8/11, she hasn't. And I'm just like, dang, I kind of was looking forward to seeing what she. No, Beyonce kills Halloween every year. Y'all don't gotta
She's
get
going to
crickets on me.
hit y'all with something. I mean, I'm not. I did not even pay attention to her not posting it, but
Oh, it was just. me.
maybe she just did. You know.
No, I'm going. No, nothing.
No,
nothing.
nothing.
You know what, Beyonce? You owe us a Halloween post. Marquise, do you celebrate Halloween?
Not necessarily. Like I'll in the beginning of the year, I'll like think of a costume, like, oh, this would be a dope costume. This would be a
Me
dope
too.
costume. Then by the time it gets here, I have
fuck it.
not. I've done I just haven't done it.
It's
so.
just not even there for you.
Yeah, it's just it's whatever. It's for whoever celebrates it. You celebrate it. Do your thing.
And rock out, but just don't be trash with your costume. That's all.
I think for me, for Halloween, I just want to see. I appreciate the creative costumes, the sexy costumes, not really. Because, like, oh, you're a sexy fire hydrant. Like, come on, y'all.
Fire hydrant?
Yes, fire hydrant. Like, niggas be wild.
Oh, okay, that's
meant
new.
to say firefighter,
No,
but he said no. Fire hydrant.
Like,
Yes.
niggas be, like,
Okay.
sexy fire. It's just, like,
Fire
all right.
hydrant.
Like,
Interesting.
I would, I just appreciate creative costumes.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Because you are a creative.
So,
Yeah. I don't know. I was just. Oh, did y'all see the Pastor Wilson costume?
No,
Floating around social media.
I haven't seen it.
Dog
Somebody
he got
please.
like a 3-foot long
Yeah.
tongue.
Man.
He got like Magnum condoms stuck to his blazer, and it say Pastor Wilson. It's hilarious,
Yo,
dog.
I
You
haven't seen
gotta,
it.
I gotta
I've been
send
on
it
I've
to you.
seen
I have
that
not
and
seen
the
it.
That was a good one. I feel like he won to me
that
so
and
far.
the goddamn Popeye's chicken sandwich costume.
No,
Oh, I haven't
I ain't
seen
see
it.
that.
Yes.
Okay, well, shout out to everybody who's killing the game on the costume front. Keep it up. Now, what about retrograde? It's the first day of retrograde. Mercury retrograde ends November 7th. Are y'all astrologists? Y'all into this sort of thing? Do y'all even know what the fuck retrograde is?
I tried to educate myself, but I'm interested to hear what it is. Like, I'm not I just been reading. Like,
I don't keep up with you niggas in your retrogrades.
You know,
it's like a
Marquise.
retrograde every 3 seconds.
It's a retrograde. Okay, so
Like,
let me clarify for those who do not know.
Educate us.
I'm going to. So, for clarity, Mercury laps Earth every 4 months or so, right? And when this happens, the Mercury quote-unquote retrograde occurs, during which Mercury is technically passing Earth more quickly. The illusion is that Mercury is moving backwards past Earth in its orbit, but technically Mercury is just passing Earth more quickly. And it is said that during this time period, it's hard to get decisions from others, and that even if a decision is made, it'll be subject to change. It's a poor time to do anything involving communications or launch any new endeavors and that sort of thing, just based on the zodiacal relationship of it all.
We are not laughing. We're laughing at what she's doing.
My only question is, where do y'all? Because here's why this is interesting to me. I'm newly kind of like on this astrological wave, right? I'm very interested in my zodiac sign and how it relates to other zodiac signs and all the other signs in my chart, which I just learned about a chart last year. So like I'm on this wave of like, oh shit, this stuff really informs me about myself to a certain degree. So along with that journey comes this idea of Mercury retrograde. So what are y'all thoughts on it? Any thoughts? Are you familiar with it at all? Do people talk about this in your circles?
I've been hearing it more lately.
Marquise is rolling his eyes at me.
I don't know enough about it. The one thing I
appreciate
read,
you saying that, sis.
I read today that like it's going to mess up your it was like expect your computer to start messing up. I was like, what?
Wait.
That can happen anytime. Like this is it's
while we're trying to record a podcast.
Yes.
Cool.
Right. Wait. So before after I got home from work, I'm like, let me work on some music real quick, and the thing would not work. So I was like, wait, what? But that doesn't make me a believer in everything.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I was just like, what are the chances?
I posted something on my Insta story about Mercury retrograde, and somebody slid in my DMs, a good friend of mine, and told me to stop speaking it. Like, don't speak Mercury retrograde. So I just was like, well, I think this is interesting to talk about. Like, I want to know other people's opinions of it. Marquise, what is your opinion?
I don't have one. Like, because I'm in the poetry community, these niggas are all in the, astrological things all the time. So, and shout out to the homies, shout out to people who believe in astrology. I have nothing against it. It's just that it's like every 3 days, something's in retrograde. And y'all lives are in shambles, and
My life ain't in shambles. I just want to go on record for saying
every
it.
time a retrograde.
Retrograde?
Everybody's
I agree with
people's
you.
lives
It
just
ain't
be
never a
in
good thing.
shambles, and they're like, I can't wait till this retrograde is
And
over.
this retrograde
I'm
lasts till like
yo.
November 30th. Am I wrong?
Bro.
It's November
That's
7th.
Oh.
It's a week.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, that's
Bro.
a long time not to be making no decisions. What
Bro.
boss cannot go a week without making decisions?
Listen, clearly we are recording the Janela Trees podcast on the first day of retrograde, so I get that.
I pray for y'all.
What do you mean, y'all? I just explained very clearly
Listen,
that
you
I am
brought up
knew about it
retrograde.
and we
You
know
brought
about
up
I'm a
retrograde.
new enthusiast of astrology. You don't got to include me in that particular prayer. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa.
I don't mind being prayed for, but all right, let's.
That's what just happened, y'all. Crash and burn. We have just crashed and burned.
Listen, you know what? I'm a little testy these days, so I apologize. You know why? Because life on a romantic side of things
I wish I had my violin.
is a little. No, I'm not really crying, y'all. Don't let them make you believe. But
No, she's not.
no, I mean, I'm out here trying to do my best. This is a good way to kind of just like move into the next subject,
Just
which
so y'all
is
know, I'm consoling her, but also kind of just rubbing on her leather pants because
so everybody
this is
gonna
great.
rub 'em. I'm being felt up by my
great.
co-host in this moment.
This is great. Yeah.
I'm gonna give them a moment.
Leather pants.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, dating as a millennial. Let's just move into it because, I just feel like this is an important subject. I'm single. I don't know about...
I'm married as fuck.
Marquise has a beautiful, gorgeous wife. Shout out to Sierra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can actually...
I appreciate the, when you do it as a person. It
You
makes
like
it feel
that? You like it
genuine.
better?
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. And I can change the tone.
Yeah.
Emac, are you
Ba,
single?
ba, ba, ba. I'm single. Ba, 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 ba.
Are you dating?
I'm not dating right now. I'm living a lonely life.
Does not dating equal living a lonely life?
Nah, in terms of your phone being dry. That's what I mean. I don't mean
Are you not
we
open
trying
to dating?
to dig deep in. Yeah, I'm open to dating.
Tell me about your experience.
I'm on 2 apps. I'm not going to give them no free promotion until they
I'm
sponsor
on one
our
app.
show.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
And it's you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Some people come way too fast with the sexual, advances. Some people come way too slow with the, do you want to get some drinks? Do you want to go out or do you not? We're not going to spend 20 minutes talking about it. So, I don't know. And I feel like on the app, I feel like I have to be glued to the phone in order to get the most out of the app, and I just don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So I want to meet
It's
somebody
restricting.
authentically. Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm on an app too. I'm not going to mention the app, but honestly, this is a very exhausting thing for me to discuss. However, I really needed some feedback because I don't know, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, Marquise, but I know you do. And it was a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple days ago, I actually had a whole romantical meltdown on Instagram because of the experiences that I had with black men. I feel it important to note that over the course of a week and a half, not even 2 weeks. Within this time period, I had a man who only knew me for a week ask me for $60. Babe, can you cash at me $60 and I'm going to pay you back on Thursday? It was a Sunday, but I don't care if he said he was going to pay me back within an hour.
Right.
You just met me, my nigga. What's going on? So there was him.
He got too familiar real quick.
How? What part of the game is that?
Some people are just not great individuals. Dating or not dating. You know what I mean? So that's just...
And let me, you know what? You make a good point because I'm going to tell you about this other people and then that makes me think of something that I feel like I've been carrying for years. You are, these notions, right? You are what you attract, right? Love yourself first and then you'll be in a position to love someone else. But I also feel like as a person who engages in a lot of self-work, as a person who's ambitious, as a person who is beautiful, as a person who is clear about her relationship with herself, some of my interactions with men, I don't have to always assume the responsibility for. And that's kind of the place that I'm at on my journey because for a long time I realized I, as a black woman, am you know what is it about me that attracts this? And I think that that's a healthy question to ask yourself if there's a repetitive notion of the same type of relationships. But by the same token, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm black men, my brothers, I really, really need y'all to get equipped in this. I need y'all to get equipped on how to court and date and interact with and engage black women of standard or women, period, to be honest.
To that point, I think that in general, the social skills are not there. Not with our generation, because all we on the phone all the
generation?
Time. Our generation and a generation younger.
Okay.
Right? So a guy who's in his 50s is going to have
across
more...
all races.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Some of y'all daddies ain't shit either, so we're going to...
Well, that too, but I'm saying in terms of them
some of y'all daddies ain't shit.
No,
when I say
I
say everybody's daddy. No, listen, my daddy,
real personal,
my daddy.
Okay, that nigga got two.
I am one of 9. My daddy ain't shit.
Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he lay. All right, come on, bring it back. But I think that you make a good point though. Like that's the thing. That's why I say get equipped. Like I think it's important, and I don't see enough of it happening.
I think it's that people are too shy to state their intentions, right? So even guys, we want them to be some like mystical. Yes, you know what you want, but I think they shy too. Like they really don't know how to interact and be like, yo, if in person, especially in person. I've seen my brothers punk out, and I'm just like, go shoot your shot. Like no. I'm just so I think it's a combination of that, and I think that women are also like, we're afraid to shoot our shot. So, and it shouldn't always. I'm not a person who wants to chase all the time, but society is changing. Like some guys want to be chased.
Okay, so
I'm not excusing either side, but I'm just saying, like,
right there are instances.
It's a greater problem than like people making decisions.
There are instances where folks are fearful. You know what I'm saying, to like communicate. But then there are also, I think there's a greater number of instances where people are unable.
What you mean?
I don't know, because like honestly, I feel like I'm giving the benefit of the doubt by saying that, because I'm like, what? I've met some men who are like very forthcoming, very outspoken, not shy in the least bit. But you don't know how to properly ask me on a date, how to properly communicate your intentions with me, like things like that. I don't know. I'm not here to y'all should see their faces. I'm not here to browbeat brothers, because anybody who knows me personally knows like I am a champion for black men, which is, I say that because that's who I date, right? I'm a champion. I'm rooting for y'all, but please, woo,
step it up.
As the only black man on the
because my dating experience is very limited, because I've only been in 2 relationships. The first was with my first girlfriend. We got together in high school, and it was weird how that started too. We were just like, we were hanging out a lot, and I was just like, every so often I turned and was like, so are we in a relationship now? And she's like, no. And then until one day I like asked, we were on a bus coming back from somewhere, and like we were just like, cuddle up and sitting, and I was like, so are we in a relationship? Like, this me in a relationship? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh, that's how you got into your first ever relationship?
Yeah. So, and that lasted for 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
Father God.
So, and I'm the type of person who's like just destined to be in a relationship. Like, so like that's what I look for, and that's what I commit to. So,
that's what I look for too, but I never had an 8-year relationship.
But,
never.
I mean, it was also,
or a husband.
It also like lasted longer than it should have, but it ended when it should have. So that's a whole complicated story.
Needless to say, that's 8 years.
Yeah, but so like there was that, and we were both in high school, so we were both awkward as fuck anyway. And then with my wife, we were like friends first. Like, I thought she was cute, and I approached her in a friendly manner because she was cute, right? But like I didn't have any like ulterior intentions. So like that's interesting. So for me, I find it easier to be friends first and then move into something. Yeah. So y'all already have like a comfortable.
I feel like the apps don't allow that, because it's immediate. It's an immediate interview.
Yeah.
Right from the gate.
From the gate, it's like, okay, and what do you do? And it's like you're not even letting the authentic like friendship. I know people who have gotten married from the apps. So shout out to you. Shout out to Love. Yeah. But for me, I feel like it's an immediate like, okay, 30 questions. And then it's like, let me size you up. Like with real authentic friends, even just platonic friends, with authentic relationships, you're not quizzing that person. Yeah. It just happens that y'all around and you keep being around each other and you learn more and more. Yeah.
I'm debating whether or not the app life is still for me. But even with building a relationship from a friendship, you run a high risk with that, because I know, I mean, like, even though it's beautiful all in all because you know this person and they know you, but I've had friendships turn into romantic situations and it didn't end in marriage.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's also the
We
fact
don't talk.
there's also
We
the
don't
fact
talk
that like me and my wife are, like I said, I am committed to long-term relationships. So like, and so is she. So we're, we don't always have the best days, but we're committed to growing with each other.
Yeah.
And like that's what's needed. That's what's needed from both sides. The commitment to growth. To know that we're not we may be two opposites coming together. We may be two people that, we have similarities, we have differences, but to grow together and to progress together is what keeps us together.
That was good. It feels great to hear that from a black man. You don't understand. It feels incredible. Cheers to progressing together. Come on, bring your water over here.
Y'all heard
to
that.
growing together. Thank you for that, Marquise, because honestly, I don't want to get tired. I don't want to get, and I am. Like, I was getting to that point where I'm just like, come on, like, what?
But I think, this is what I wrote down just now when you were talking, I think everybody's intentions are different now in 2019. People are not trying to date to get married.
You might be right.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who don't believe
It's really
in
not
marriage
that
anymore, yeah.
game no more. Back in the day, a woman was looking for a man to be that breadwinner, to be that person in life, to be the stability. Because in society, it meant that.
Yeah.
But now people got their own stuff going on.
So when you say people aren't dating to marry, I never said that I even want to be married, but
or they're not dating to be in relationships.
Got you.
So that
Committed,
knocks
period.
out the courting. If I'm not trying to date you to really build with you, why am I courting you?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the guys feeling like, I'm not spending all this on you if I already know what I want out of this.
They helping me, y'all. I'm not saying I don't want to be married. I just don't be knowing. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank you. Shout out to Marquise and Erica Mack, y'all. They the shit. All right, moving on. Kanye West dropped Jesus is King. And featuring the Sunday Service Choir, of course. I really want to hear from y'all. The social media and the internet has been ablaze since he dropped this album. Many have many opinions. Are we flushing it? Are we spinning it? Are there any favorite moments? Any favorite songs? What do we consider the overall contribution to music is? I have a pretty strong opinion about Kanye West, so I'm not going to go first. Marquise, tell us your thoughts about Jesus is King.
All right, so there are a few things. One, I would listen to this before I listen to the Little Kim album again. So
Yes.
so there's that.
Lord.
That ain't saying much. That ain't saying much because Lil Kim's album was flushed the last time we were together.
Man.
But it's like, all right, so it's we kind of saw this coming. Like, he had an album called Life of Pablo. He had an album called Yeezus. So it was kind of a progression to this, right? And also, so the album itself just sounds like somebody who just completely gave their life over to God, and this is their testament, right?
Is that okay?
So that's like literally, like, if you just listen to the album, you just talk about him, like his changes that he's going to make, and such. So there's a moment here. She almost just
Trying to
died.
get out this chair for 10 minutes.
God. So it's just like him, his testimony, right? So there's that, but the bars ain't hard. The beats are minimal, which I guess was the point, so he can get his, his testimony out, minimal, so the beats aren't distracting. But like, honestly, with this whole, like, I actually do have the song I like the most is On God. But honestly, like, Ultra Light Beam was just like a better version of this whole album. Like, you can, like, if you want, like, actual, like, you got Kelly Price on Ultralight Beam. You got Chance rapping his ass off on Ultralight Beam. So it's like if you want like a Christian, a God-centered song, or or a thing, just go listen to Ultralight Beam. Like, to be quite honest, like, it's just like the project was it's okay.
So it's so-so.
Yeah, it's all right. Like, I did find myself, like, bopping to a side to side.
So you wouldn't flush it.
I listened to it initially because I had to for the podcast, and then again as just so I can refresh myself on what. Like, okay, he got the clips together, right? So there's a song with the clips on it. The clips have not been together for quite a while because Malice has changed over to No Malice, doing his whole gospel stint. And like I was kind of excited when I saw it, but I didn't know what to expect. I knew there was gonna be cocaine references. There just had to be because it's the clips. Right. And I was wondering how they fit that in. Pusha fit that in, but like they aren't giving you like heavy bars as well. They give you a little something, but this album is lacking of heavy bars as a it's supposed to be a gospel album, rap gospel,
whatever it's supposed to be.
So yeah, so it's like this is like.
Would you flush it or spin it?
I don't intend on listening to it again.
Is that a flush?
That means it's a flush. Ultimately, it's a flush. He doesn't hate it. But it's not one of those
you
things.
Can't just leave it in the bathroom, like just
no. It's flush.
Hang it
or spin.
Like it's good background music, but like I ain't.
You have to flush it.
Go ahead, E-Man. If you feel so strongly.
No.
Go ahead. How you feel about Jesus'
interrogation? I think Jesus
you feel defensive,
huh?
Just interrogation.
Yeah, interrogating me.
Just tell us how you feel about it.
Yeah, no, I feel like my honest opinion is his intentions. Like this was his most honest work. Like that's
most honest.
It's him saying, "This is my thing." He didn't have to do this album. He didn't have to. Like he could have came back with something. You know what I mean? So this is him being like, "All right, cool. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. Get it off my chest. Cool." It is not the most creative that we've experienced of Kanye.
I'm not trying to cut you off. That's why I'm like really trying to work over here. No.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I would not flush it. That's me personally. It doesn't have bars. You're right. It don't have like them, but it does have better. I mean, for the level of Kanye that we see consistently, it does have like crafty things in there. You know what I mean? Like it's not. Like
I'm interested in this notion that it's his most honest album because for me, and the reason why that's the aspect of what you share that I question, is because granted, I have my opinions about Kanye West, period, which aren't the best opinions. However, this album to me feels gimmicky. It does. It feels like a gimmick. It feels like the majority of his preceding albums were far more honest. We got raw Kanye West and his artistic bag so much more often than we did here. And this was actually his first, probably I would venture to say first ever attempt to gimmick. Like he's already on this whole. Now I'm going to try my best to choose my words here because I do feel strongly about Kanye West, and it's because I spent a lot of time very heavily emotionally invested in his career. Right, I didn't grow up listening to a whole lot of rap, but Kanye West kind of really drew me musically into hip hop. Like you know what I'm saying, and he wasn't the only one, but he's one of right. And I, as a lyrical contemporary dance choreographer, have choreographed to like Roses and you know what I'm saying, like songs of his. And so when I listen to this, I respect him musically. I say that to say I feel like he's like on some genius shit, low key, or he at least has those capabilities and that wiring. But when I listen to this album and then I consider everything that we've gotten from him personally over the last however long it's been, I lost track of time after the 12,000th time seeing him with a MAGA hat on and trying to hear him out and trying to listen to what he was saying and witnessing the damage that he was doing culturally and witnessed the damage that he was doing and the disregard for his platform considering the genocide against black people. It's just hard for me to imagine that same spirit is behind a person who would put this type of album out and call it honesty. So I listened to the album. I don't think it was bad musically. Sunday Service Choir was killing it. It was a great album musically. I'll say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't bad. I would definitely not flush it, you know, but I think I'm with Marquise. I don't think he intended to flush it either, but I'm not spinning this no more though.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I'm not spinning it no more.
I am going to spin it. I've been rocking with some of the songs on there. The tracks are nice. I definitely get down with the choir. I have. All right, so that's the musical part of me. I can't let go of the music part of that.
I get it.
Do I bang with Kanye? Based off of his actions in the last 2-3 years. Can anybody say that they really getting down with him that way? No. But so if I'm talking about just spinning it, as in spinning the music, not spinning a person.
Right, but this type of music, when a person creates this type of music specifically, it is bearing their soul. You just said that you felt like this was his most honest album. So how can we
being honest right
about
now?
What?
He's being honest about how he feels right now.
Which is what? What was the message you got from the album?
He gave his life over
to
Christ.
He gave his life to Christ.
Which means what?
He gave his life to Christ.
He's living the life of, if we just take for what he's saying, he's now living the life of Christianity. That's what I gather from it. Have I talked to Kanye?
I would say something.
No,
I would say something
Kanye.
that would support that message that you just said, but it would be so challenging to any of our Christian listeners. So I'm going to digress. But what I will say is,
all the listeners want to hear what you...
If that's the message that you feel like you got from him after all of these antics, I'm really trying to find a way to say, like, it's damaging. I don't know how else to say.
Shout out to Kanye. I am going to spin it.
We're not shouting them out. That's what we're not doing.
I'm going to spin it. I'm going to shout out it was some bomb writers on there.
Yes, there was.
Writing was.
There were some absolutely amazing.
Victory
writers.
Boy was on there. It's some good up and coming talent on there. So shout out to the artistry of it. I believe full-heartedly that mental health issues and all that hides in the church all the time. So his mental health state, he has to work on that. He has to start growing in that. Like, he has to make sure that he's getting the therapy that I can't speak to that part of him. I never talked to Kanye. Now the music, I'm gonna keep bumping it because it was really good.
So
I'm digressing. I hate that I'm digressing, but I
don't digress.
Speaking of this, though,
I'm not the one to say it. I can't.
So it was like the album was interesting in the of the outside things of the album was like he didn't want anyone who was unmarried to have, he didn't want anybody who was not married to have premarital sex while they were working working on the album. He's now yes he is now is like on a public denouncing of pornography. Yeah. And then
no motherfucking comment.
But also if everyone remembers the infamous How Sway moment, he just like
of course
how he says Sway ain't got the answers. There's literally an article of him like talking about how Sway has the answer.
No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Yo,
he's like,
but listen, this is the Kanye that we're now experiencing. This is the saved Kanye. This is the saved Kanye.
Look, this is what I said.
This is the Christian Kanye.
Kanye is going to have some proving to do in terms of, and he don't owe it to me to prove it. I'm just saying, like, in general. The reason people have a problem with him is because he's so shifty in terms of, like, one day you for the people, the next day you saying stuff, like, against the black community, wearing a MAGA hat, stuff like that.
People.
So he's going to have some proving to do. If he's really growing and becoming better now, what I will say in terms of the music, remember how the last show we talked about Little Kim not progressing, and she's still talking about the same things. Mm-hmm. At least we see a man going from talking about he was addicted to Louis Vuitton and he was super, self-righteous and stuff like that, wanted to have the best everything on. Now you see a progression. At least he's not still talking about the same stuff he was talking about in College Dropout,
which was an epic album.
Very epic. It was
game
game
changer.
changing,
But
but
doesn't have the same writers. Rhymefest ain't writing for him no more. Was Saha the Prince was writing on the last album. So so it was like.
But even his own writing is good.
But yeah, no, like I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he's progressing. Now we talking about music progressing. Yeah, like it's stuff that you see with most artists. Like Jill Scott, you can see the progression of her, music as it goes on too. So shout out to the people who progress and let their audience see it. Now he's going to prove that he's not in this joint for the gimmick. even if it is a gimmick, I like some of the tracks, and that is what it is.
Like you talk about the shifts, that he's doing. Like I've said, like people have said, that man ain't been the same since his mama died. His and the fact that his mother died of something that no one expected her to die from.
Right.
And he was still in the prime of his career. Yeah. So he's just still didn't have, I don't know how much of a moment he took for himself to mourn, but like he was still there. He was still Kanye. He was still in life, and his mother just died. And he's talked about that on several, like in songs on several occasions.
Absolutely.
So like I'm not surprised by any of this.
Okay.
About any of his abrupt shifting.
Antics.
Because I don't know how. Because like I can't imagine just losing my mother.
I can't either.
That abruptly.
What would make you feel like it's not anticky? Is that a word? I don't know. Anticky.
It's going.
Like if it's not a gimmick, what can he do to prove to you that it's not a gimmick? And there's not no interrogation. I'm just like curious.
I don't mind being asked that question. I feel like that's a great question. I don't know. I feel like, and when I say that it's a gimmick, honestly, again, I didn't expound fully. You know what I'm saying? I digressed. But I definitely feel like the things that he says when he is speaking in support of the Trump administration, when he is speaking, when he's wearing the MAGA hat, I feel like the things that he says in those instances are his truth. And I feel like, and I really don't want this to open up another can of worms. But what I will say is I feel like this album is a gimmick in support of that truth.
It's a gimmick in support of his MAGA truth?
Yes.
Donald Trump
is it going to
Jr.
exalt?
Actually tweeted his album and was like,
I think this is a gimmick in support of his and I believe Kanye when he wears the Make America Great Again. And that's what's so heartbreaking. I believe it. I don't attribute it to any mental illness.
No, I don't attribute that. No. I'm not attributing
and
that
I've
to
listened to his viewpoint on it, and I get it. I get what he's saying, but it's irresponsible.
I think that you got to remember he is far removed from our tax bracket. So the things that affect us and the things that affect him, like politically, are not going to be the same anymore.
I don't give a damn about that.
No. It shouldn't.
Promise you, I don't.
Be that way. But if he's up in a certain tax bracket, of course he's going to be in favor.
There are plenty of people that are up in a certain tax bracket that use their platforms to support the black community. Period.
It's just not Kanye.
You're not wearing a Make America Great Again hat. What the come on, dog. A simple Google search.
Now, if he renounced MAGA, would you?
I would think he was lying at this point.
So you just don't believe Kanye no more?
That's what I just said, boo boo. I believe that to be his truth. And for me,
you don't
it's
believe
devastating.
anything from him now.
I believe
that this
Make
is his
America
truth?
Great Again is his truth. And that, again, I will repeat it. I believe him in support of the Trump administration. That is his truth. And this album is a gimmick in support of that truth. That's what I believe.
I hear you.
Any other questions? Marquise,
Laying me out.
You want to ask me some shit about Kanye?
She giving it to everybody.
No, you
are a gimmick.
I told you
You're a gimmick.
See, now when I say
You're a gimmick.
outspoken black women everywhere, when I say
You're a gimmick.
when I say that I digress, motherfuckers don't want me to digress. But then when I speak up,
You get it. Shots fired.
Moving on. This Erica is. I'm the bed in Erica's world right now.
No, like.
Listen, first of all, let me just, before we move on to the final subject of the show, Kanye West, we really do sincerely respect you. We love you, brother. We honor your contributions to art up to this point. Erica continues to honor your contributions to art from this point moving forward. And that's just it.
I want to read a review.
Yo, anybody who said that they love the album, she just going.
I don't have anything against anybody who loves this album. I just can't.
I want to read a review of the album, okay?
Okay, let's go.
Kanye West is cracking the culture code. Kanye West's new album, Jesus is King, is the epitome of fearless creativity and dangerous, unapproved ideas. Leftists
This is Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump. I'm stepping away. This is Donald Trump.
Who are speaking the truth. They're waging a war on our family and culture. Kanye is a pioneer.
It's Donald Trump.
Donald Trump Jr.
It's somebody Trump.
Donald Trump Jr. fucks with the album.
Kanye probably retweeted it. Moving on. Ain't nobody got time for this bullshit. Moving on. The Free the Nipple movement.
What we've been waiting for, man.
Listen, last time we was together, we got into an accidental conversation about titties. As a black woman having breasts, and Marquise went into his rendition of You Send Me Swinging. And it's so crazy because since then, the Free the Nipple movement, which is an actual movement, wins big in 6 states. That was a headline on frontpagelive.com. And it says, women like men are now free to go topless in 6 U.S. states. So what's up, E-Mac? What's up? You going topless tomorrow? The word?
I'm not quite confident enough.
She a teacher.
Damn. With the kids?
Yo, that would be terrible.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Just say,
Put on some
hey,
sex
good
offenders
morning, y'all.
list.
Whoa.
I'm not suggesting that she do anything inappropriate in front of her students. Shout out to educators everywhere.
Yeah, shout out to us. But I don't think I'm quite confident enough to pull that off. But I feel like if you go for it. Because I don't see... I mean, if a guy can have big breasts and still go without a top...
Now, earlier you asked me because I said I don't think I would just step outside without no shirt on, but I think I would step outside. I know I would step outside and have stepped outside without a bra on. I'll do that constantly.
Yeah.
And you asked me why I wouldn't step outside without a shirt on. And what about where's the lack of confidence coming? If y'all see Erica, she's stunning.
Erica's got some great days.
She's a brick. Ow.
Body rolls.
Yeah, I don't know. I know for me.
But no.
Yeah.
But your question is, where's the lack of confidence?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that.
So, for the listeners who don't know what a bra is meant to do, it is meant to hold up the fight.
Okay.
Hold
You got
up.
sleepy tits like me.
Okay,
My
listen.
tits look sleepy.
Okay.
Listen,
They
I
are
just
not.
wanna-
wear a bra.
Don't get mistaken by the Victoria's Secret commercials. No,
Right.
the bras are meant to do a certain thing, and when they do that
School
thing,
us.
that's when you're like, she has great tits.
Yeah.
Let me just tell y'all, I have a deep passion for them saggy titties. I do.
I'm not prepared
I
for
do.
this.
Ooh, listen.
I'm not.
I've never met
I
your
love
wife.
them shits.
Can you please take the phone sex voice off?
Listen.
I'm not
I
able
got
to.
a deep. Listen, y'all done put me in my. I have a deep.
Oh,
All right, wait.
it's a relationship with them.
Deep.
Sierra, where you at? We need you in the studio at all times moving forward.
Please.
You got a deep what? All you said was you got a deep.
Appreciation.
Oh, for titties?
For them saggy titties, yeah.
Saggy ones?
From I don't like, yeah, I appreciate.
You don't
I
like
mean,
perky
wait,
tits?
wait,
I mean, they alright, but like them.
But saggy and big or saggy
Hell
and
yeah.
small? Because it's a
I'm
difference.
Yeah,
saggy
difference.
and big. I'm saggy and big.
Big,
Like,
saggy
hell yeah.
titties.
You want
Is
them
your
Aunt
preference.
Sarah.
I mean,
Aunt
nah,
Sarah.
not necessarily like the
Sarah.
hang out to your belly button, Jones. 'cause
Okay.
y'all, but like I know what if either of you take off your bra, I know what I would know what will happen. I know they're gonna drop, a little bit,
They
so.
going to drop
They-
it more
but
than
it's like-
a little bit,
but listen,
baby. I got a good bra on today.
But listen, the
I think there's a misconception that these things
but
Right, they
do something that
They just
They
don't
don't
do.
do. But
These babies do
what-
not believe
whatever,
they can
whatever
fly.
you are thinking negatively of those right now, I bet you I love it.
He's
I
binding
bet
it
you
up.
bind it. Look, no, I am very proud of mine. Like me and my breast have a relationship. We've gone through the fire together.
Kanye. Oh,
I see.
All right.
Look at you.
old Kanye.
But yeah, no, I'm not confident enough to just go out there like that. Takes time. Or small breast. It takes time or small breast.
Do you wish you had small breasts?
In certain circumstances.
Like really? Do you?
Yeah, in certain circumstances. I
Sometimes
think
I
in
wish-
general, if I could be like a B or a C cup, Yeah.
You want to tell the people your bra size?
No. If you see me on Instagram, you'll know.
Them titties is live and in living color, baby.
You'll know what
But like
size
the confidence
I am.
thing, I understand because as a man with A cups, right?
Wait a minute.
I understand. Like I don't be going like I don't be like no, but like for the I'm not to hijack your conversation.
No,
but
no,
like
you are
but
more than
like,
welcome.
Like I understand of the aspect of like for the longest time like going to a pool or like the water park I'd keep a tank top on, right? You know,
You don't
because
have titties.
I mean, yes, I do. You know, I got the
That's
got
not
that little A cup.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
I would have never.
I'm
I've
tall.
never seen you without
It's
a
'cause I'm
shirt
tall.
on.
Yeah,
he
it's-
just showed me his chest, guys.
Yeah, you know, it's because I'm
Show
tall.
everybody.
So, you know, free the nipples. No,
Oh, that's interesting.
it's because I'm tall, so I thinned out.
You know, I just assumed that only fat men had breasts.
No, I think and breast tissue is tricky because you can get somebody who's really in shape in other areas and then their chest doesn't develop and it might be breast tissue there. So
So yeah, no, I understand.
like
I'm being completely immature.
yes, she is.
But like, and then
I'm
also,
sorry.
you know, in the world that we live in, you know, where like that would justify, like that would some people would try to justify for like like if something were to happen to a woman walking outside, you know, with their shirt on, we're like, oh,
Yeah.
she got attacked because she wasn't wearing a shirt. She should have been wearing a shirt. So like, I understand the many facets of why a woman wouldn't want to go topless, even or you know, a woman or a person with breasts wouldn't want to go topless, even if they had like even if the law absolutely permits it. So I get it.
If I walk butt naked, it still don't justify somebody.
Nothing ever justifies
Yeah,
whether
so I
you're
get what you're
butt
saying, yeah.
naked or like wearing a suit of goddamn armor. You know, nothing justifies
Right.
it. But you know, niggas will still try it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! All I know is I'm fine keeping my titties in the shirt. Shout out to the free nipple movement and your cause. I'm cool with keeping my titties in the shirt. Sometimes that bra though. Do you ever go without a bra to work and like to important things?
No.
No?
See, I have. Again, if you see me on Instagram or see me in person, I'm not. I'm heavy. I'm top heavy. So it's not. That's not.
Yeah,
that
so am I.
Okay, that's fine, but that would not be comfortable for me to be moving around. And they just
'cause
moving
you
from
do a
left
lot.
to right. Like I
Left
teach
to
percussion.
right, up, down.
Okay.
I teach percussion.
But like, come on, them things would be making their own drum beat.
Titties be hitting the cha-cha
So,
slide.
yeah, like, and then when you trying to get places fast, you don't need them things moving like that.
Now that be the draw part, because
Yeah.
anytime you jog so much as skip, hopscotch, anything,
It
if you
hurt.
got big titties,
Them things coming
and you
down.
don't got a bra on,
Smack.
they coming down. They might come up.
Nigga,
Chin.
I've walked down the steps too fast and had to hold my chest. Okay,
Shut
like
up.
I understand.
Now you're not gonna pretend like you got boobs. You're
No,
not about to
I've-
do that.
I've
You got
literally,
pimple
like,
titties.
I've literally ran downstairs, like had to hold
Pimple
because these
titties.
shits just move too much sometimes. So I feel you on a
Moving
minuscule
too much
level.
sometimes.
Yeah.
is
Have you
different.
ever gone to sleep and your boob fall off?
fall
to the
out
side?
your
Okay.
the side
No,
of your
not
tank
yet.
top?
Because
Fall out
that's
to
a
the
different.
Like I said, I got A cups.
You
I
ever
ain't got
had to
that problem.
move your boob to adjust your sleeping position?
Okay, come on now.
Like that's
No, I
a
haven't.
thing.
I
honey.
know. I have a wife with.
Laying
That
on
means-
titties. Ooh, you rolled the wrong way. Ow!
I mean,
God damn!
yeah.
Oh man,
I know the pain just not in that area with testicles. Yeah.
Well,
testicles are weird.
another episode.
Testicles is a strange thing.
We need to get some more brothers on in here if we're
Maybe
gonna
we'll-
talk about balls.
Why we can talk about balls and Marquise?
Yeah, but we need some more so that there's more. Because I don't have balls, and neither do you. So that there's some more like opinions about
Okay.
balls.
All right.
Now we don't need no more balls opinions
Can I tell y'all my my story from the last time that sparked this
about balls.
No, the
No.
boobs.
Oh.
story.
Oh
So-
God.
Balls.
About balls. It's like no. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Go ahead.
So when I was younger, I was athletic, so I was on basketball teams. So this one time in the summer, I was with this AAU squad, and I was growing. Like at that time, like my breasts were like on
buddy.
a spurt.
Let's
Like
go.
they was really big. So my dad, being the loving dad coach that he is, he was like, he saw, and I shout out to him for like trying. You know what I mean? He tried to do something. He was like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna tape down we're gonna duct tape him down, right? So no, but it's a common practice. Like
women do that.
Yeah, but I'm talking
You were
athletic.
young.
I was young.
Yeah.
So he came back. I never thought 2 seconds about it after that. I was
he
like,
knew.
because but he came back to me years down the line and was like, that really broke. I'm sorry I had to do that for you, and like I'm like it was boiling in him for so long, and he felt really apologetic about it.
Wow!
So shout out to my dad for coming
Shout
back with
the
apology.
The tape.
But the tape, he knew because he wanted me to be the best athlete that I could.
And
but them things was.
I will say another shout out to Emacs dad because you raised a hell of a woman. I'm just telling you.
Hey.
She's all there.
Shout out to Emacs dad for being there.
Yes, for being there. Period. And on that note,
yikes! Next episode will be the Father's Day.
No, listen, don't please. I ain't got nothing to say.
No, shout out to my pops. R.I.P. though.
Dang.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for yet another episode of the Janae Latrice podcast. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we out.
Bang bang.